Hey, HannahMouse1 here. Welcome to part 12 of my Fixing Your Scratch project series, where I take projects that you submit to me and I show you how I transform the base concept into a fully fledged game. Today we're remaking Top-Down Shooter by RhysFlames. This is it's a top-down shooter, innit? Does what it says on the tin. But aside from the fantastically creative choice of name, I chose to remake Top-Down Shooter because it's actually quite fun and satisfying to play. The biggest problems I had with it was the inconsistent style. There's a mix of smooth vector art, pixel arted text, realistic and cartoony images. It's a bit of a mess. And there also isn't much of a sense of progression, which can make it feel a little bit boring after a while. But because I'm really happy with the base game, the first stage was really just recoloring and restyling a lot of the assets. I decided to lean into a soft, cartoony vector style for this one, rounding off corners and adding highlights. On the player, I reshaped the eyes slightly from perfect circles to half moons, and this tiny change added so much personality. On the player, I reshaped the eyes slightly from perfect circles to half moons, and this tiny change added so much personality. I replaced any pixel art font with a hand-drawn vector art font. Writing in your own letters might seem like a lot of work, but if Scratch doesn't have a good default font for your game, it's definitely so worth it. I also made the player and enemies pulse slightly as they move around, making them feel so alive, and instead of the semi-realistic bullets and gun from the original, I made it so that the player fires out small circles instead. To create a sense of progression, I decided to replace the character customization with character upgrades instead. Now you can improve the player's attack damage, bullet cooldown duration, and the player's speed. You can unlock upgrade points by leveling up. You gain experience for this when you kill enemies and clear waves. I started by making an icon for each upgrade and UI to display what level each upgrade is at. And to implement this, I had to first set up the level up system and also set it up so that once you level up, you can spend your points on improving the stats. With that set up and working, I made it so that the upgrades actually improve the player. I made each wave get progressively harder by making enemies faster and spawning more of them. This helps to make upgrades feel more necessary and makes attaining higher waves more satisfying. Whenever I have a game like this where the camera follows the player around, I think it's important to have a scrolling background to help the player orient themselves, especially when there are no enemies in the frame. It's a super simple pattern, just a grid of squares. Initially I did want diagonals, but getting them to line up was too much of a pain. But even with this really basic design, it really helps the player to gauge their speed within the space. I also made a super simple title screen, writing in the title and depicting the player firing upon the enemy. I added a play button that takes you to the upgrade screen. And finally, I tackled the audio, creating an 8-bit synth track in Soundtrap and got that playing in the background on a loop. I used JSFXR for the rest of the sound, which is a great source for creating good 8-bit sound effects. I use these to highlight pressing buttons, making purchases, shooting and hitting or killing enemies. So from this to this. That's how I remade Top-Down Shooter by RhysFlames. But apart from that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe if you did. It lets me know that this is something that you want to see more of. Join the Discord or submit your own project, both linked down below, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!